this review in order. Please call roll.
Mayor Querom.
Here.
Commissioner Warren.
Here.
Commissioner Mabry.
Here.
Commissioner Fabia. Here. Commissioner Newman.
Here. Please stand and join us in the pledge of allegiance.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We're going to get started tonight under public comment. We're going to start with the presentation of awards for the city photo contest. We had 5 pre-selected community members and residents select the top 2 photos of each category. Entries were judged based on 2 criteria: photo quality and storytelling. This includes lighting, focus, color, contrast, message, impact, creativity, and relevance to the category. Each photo could reach attain of 160 votes. So what I'm going to do is come up and I'll step up front. Kim, I think you've got the certificates, and then go ahead and make the presentations. We'll put the pictures up here on the board as well.
Sit down first.
Okay, so for our first entry was architecture, and second place was Kathy Bauer. I don't know if Kathy's not here. And first place was Mike Vaughn. Mike? The second category was landmarks. Mike? Second place winner for landmarks. And the first place winner was Scott Meekum. Scott is not here. Main Street, looks like we had 1 entry, and that was Scott Meekum, so he'll take that. Beautiful South End. The next category was people and activities. We actually had a tie for second place. Mike Vaughn and Meredith Benson tied for second place. First place went to Meredith Benson with a picture that she titled Soup Corn. And then for recreation, we had Serene by Sarah Geiger, got second place, and she also took first place with Watercolor Sky. And the first of each category is going to be displayed at City Hall for 1 year. Now we had 1 overall best photo of the contest, and the winner will receive a $50 Princeton Chamber gift certificate. And the best photo was Beautiful South End by Scott Meekum. So there you have it. I think we had, 13 entries, total 13, 19 entries. So for the first time we've done this, I think 2 weeks ago we only had a couple entries at that point, but for the first year that we've done this, I think that we've got some great photographs. So thank you for everybody that participated. Thanks, Matt, for that. Now I'll open the floor to any public comments. And if anybody wants to leave, they can leave after the presentation.
I haven't been home all day.
Thanks, Mike.
You guys. Merry Christmas.
Okay, so no further public comments, so we'll go to Commissioner Newman for approval of minutes.
Thank you, Mayor. I move that we approve the minutes from our regular council meeting on Monday, December 5th, 2016.
Motion's been seconded. Any corrections? Call roll.
Commissioner Warren.
Aye.
Commissioner Mabry.
Aye.
Commissioner Fabia.
Aye.
Commissioner Newman.
Aye.
Mayor Querom.
Aye. Now goes to the approval of invoices, and we'll start with Commissioner Newman.
Mayor, tonight I have the invoices for Departments of Public Affairs and Accounts and Finance. Planning Department, $11,758.31. Administration, $10,647.24. Self-insurance, $74,849.64. No expenses on economic development. Tourism, $5,202.54. Property Department is $2,363.80. No expenses in community development. Lovejoy Homestead, $642.75. Homestead, $190. Total invoices for the Department of Public Affairs and Accounts and Finance is $105,654.28. Mayor, I've reviewed these bills. I find them to be true and accurate and move that they be paid.
Motion's been seconded. Any comments or corrections? Call roll.
Commissioner Warren.
Aye.
Commissioner Mabry.
Aye.
Commissioner Fabia.
Aye.
Commissioner Newman.
Aye.
Mayor Querem.
Aye. I'll go to Commissioner Mabry.
Thank you, Mayor Querem. This evening, I have the bills and payrolls for the Department of Streets and Public Improvements as follows. In the Street Department, a total of $40,002.13. In wastewater collection, a total of $90,807.16. In wastewater administration, $789.39. In the cemetery department, $5,819.89. Garbage expenditures of $26,093.61. And motor fuel tax of $10,651.15. For a grand total of $174,163.33. Mayor Querem, I've examined the bills of payroll, find them to be true and correct, and request payment be made.
Motion's been seconded. Any comments or corrections? Call roll.
Commissioner Warren.
Aye.
Commissioner Mabry.
Aye.
Commissioner Fabia.
Aye.
Commissioner Newman.
Aye.
Mayor Querem.
Aye. I'll go to Commissioner Fabia.
Thank you, Mayor. I have bills for public health, safety, and civil defense. I have $86,663.47. For public health, safety, and civil defense, I have $69,832.53 for total invoices of $156,496 even. I have reviewed these bills. I believe them to be true and accurate, and I move they be paid.
Second. Motion's been seconded. Any comments or corrections? Call roll.
Commissioner Warren.
Aye.
Commissioner Mabry.
Aye.
Commissioner Fabia.
Aye.
Commissioner Newman.
Aye.
Mayor Querem.
Aye. I'll go to Commissioner Warren.
Thank you. When I got the bills, the payroll for Department of Public Property Utilities, electric generation of $471,421.91. Electric distribution of $50,364.80. Electric administration of $29,895.25. Water treatment of $44,574.68. Water distribution of $4,301.91. Water administration of $214,637.11, for a grand total of $815,198.66. I've examined these bills, believe them to be true and correct, and move that to be paid.
I'll second that.
Motion's been seconded. Any comments or corrections? Call roll.
Commissioner Warren.
Aye.
Commissioner Mabry.
Aye.
Commissioner Fabia.
Aye.
Commissioner Newman.
Aye.
Mayor Querem.
Aye. Thank you, Commissioners. And now we'll go to regular business, and we'll go to Commissioner Newman.
Thank you, Mayor. We are going to read and approve an ordinance letter tonight. In lieu that this ordinance must be approved and in effect by January 1st of 2017. I move that we suspend the requirement for second reading of ordinance O-16-019, establishing controls for travel, meals, and lodging expenses for official city business.
Second.
Motion's been seconded. Any comments? This is a result of Illinois General Assembly. They recently enacted Public Act 99-0604, and that's the reason why we need this to be passed by January 1st, and that's why it's out for the suspension of the second reading. So no other further comments. Call roll.
Commissioner Warren.
Aye.
Commissioner Mabry.
Aye.
Commissioner Fabia.
Aye.
Commissioner Newman.
Aye.
Mayor Querem.
Aye.
I have ordinance O-16-019. It is an ordinance establishing controls on travel, meal, and lodging expense for official business of the city of Princeton. It's a detailed document that provides policy, general direction, and details as to how and when city funds should be spent when an employee is on travel. I move that we approve this ordinance.
Second.
Motion's been seconded. Any comments?
Is the detail in this, is this state requirements, I mean, the $40 a day per diem?
No, that's not. They just require you to pass on and do.
So we
put
make
the
up the details.
Correct. So we can change that at any time, we just have to have.
Any further on that? Call roll.
Commissioner Warren.
Aye.
Commissioner Mabry.
Aye.
Commissioner Fabia.
Aye.
Commissioner Newman.
Aye.
Mayor Querem.
Aye.
Next, I have the monthly building report for November. Under residential, 3 new permits totaling $125,598. Under commercial and industrial, 3 permits totaling $1,101,600. Total permits through 2016 are 87, totaling $5.8 million, compared to a year ago of 100 permits totaling $12 million, compared to 2 years ago where we were at about $4 million. That's all I have, Mayor.
Thank you, Commissioner Newman. I'll go to City Manager report. Comprehensive tree plan.
Sorry, I'm not finished. We have a comprehensive tree plan that needs to be updated on an annual basis, and we have made a revision to this tree plan effective December 15th of 2016. This document is available in City Hall for any resident. I move that we approve the comprehensive tree plan modifications this evening.
Second.
Motion's been seconded. Any comments? Call roll.
Commissioner Warren?
Aye.
Commissioner Mabry?
Aye.
Commissioner Fabia?
Aye.
Commissioner Newman?
Aye.
Mayor Querem?
Aye. Now we'll go to City Manager report.
I just have one comment. We did conclude our Director of Finance interviews last week, and we have selected a candidate and hope to announce that later this week. So that'll be forthcoming, and she'll likely start after the first of the year.
Very good news. We'll free Rachel up. She's working on a lot of other good things, moving Princeton forward. I would entertain a motion to appoint to the Princeton Public Library Board Tony Benucci to fill an unexpired term ending on June 30th, 2018.
Mayor, I move that we approve the appointment to the Princeton Public Library Board of Tony Benucci to fill an unexpired term ending June 30th, 2018.
Second.
Motion's been seconded. Any comments? Call roll.
Commissioner Warren?
Aye.
Commissioner Mabry?
Aye.
Commissioner Fabia? Commissioner Newman?
Aye.
Mayor Querem?
Aye. The other item that I have, I'm bringing this out for the discussion to the council. I'd like to hold an economic development summit, is what we're calling it, on January 26th. That's a Thursday here in Princeton. My intent is to invite the 6 largest employers in Princeton, 100 employees or more. That would include MTM, Champion, LCN, ACE, Schneider's, and also Monterey Mushroom from the architectural sector. They're not located within Princeton, but they do have a Princeton address, and I think they would be valuable to the table. We'd also invite the Princeton Industrial Commission, the Chamber of Commerce Director, and the superintendents of Princeton High School and Princeton Elementary. Basically, what this would be, it would be a roundtable discussion. We'd also be inviting the CEO of the Economic Development Corporation of North Central Illinois, that's Ivan Baker. He would also bring along 2 to 3 directors, and he would put on a presentation to start the proceedings. But have a roundtable discussion and just kick around some ideas about moving Princeton forward from an economic development standpoint. With everything that's going on with Main Street, it seems like it's the perfect timing to get into the economic development, blend it in with what we've been doing with Main Street. That's a selling point, obviously. Items that we can discuss would be, for instance, TIF districts, marketing Princeton as the city, as well as marketing our properties, our tech park, our industrial park, basically selling Princeton. And while we be inviting these 5 large corporations, we would also open this to all businesses in Princeton. And it's open to the public as well. I want this to be a public meeting because it would be, I want as much of the city council there as possible. We would make it a 11:30 to 1:30 meeting, again, on January 26th. So that's pretty much the front of it. I'd just like to open it up for discussion. Anybody have anything you'd like to add, or?
Would it be more feasible after, like, 5 o'clock? Because what you said, what, 11:30 to 12:30?
11:30 to no later than 1:30.
Because people are working, so...
Well, we have found, I think, in the past, that it's easier to get people, especially with enough notice, to have them come for during the lunch hour. Because at night, they get home from work and they just, we don't get the turnout that you would expect, that you would want. So we thought would be 11:30 to no later than 1:30 slot would work best.
I think it's a very positive idea that you've come up with, and I want to say real quick, when you mentioned the names of those major corporations, it's very interesting. Almost every one of those you mentioned has had an addition put on their building, made significant capital expenditures to their existing facilities. So it's neat to see the commitment that those businesses made the past, I'd say, 2 years, even if not the past year, to major additions and just the things that those businesses have brought back to the community. So I think it's a great idea.
Yeah, and it's, the thing is not only have they, but, there is work going on. For instance, NPM is redoing their entire lobby. I mean, these businesses that we mentioned, they're not going anywhere. For instance, they're home, and we want them, and the thing is, bringing Ivan Baker in is for them to get familiar with him and what that group is doing, and all positive.
And we have kind of a vision of what your agenda might be in this.
Well, the agenda has not been put together. I know that we would start out with a presentation by Ivan Baker. I think he's got a 15-minute presentation as well as an update as to where they currently are in this process. And then we will have an agenda, and it'll be a round table. We'll throw things out, and any input from the council as far as what you would like to see on the agenda is also more than welcome. So we'll probably have a 5 or 6 point agenda after the presentation by Ivan.
I think that's something that is probably a long overdue.
And getting started in January, first of the year, is the time I feel to do it, because 2017 we want to do what we can as far as bringing business and industry to Princeton and selling what we have.
Well, hopefully, too, they would be willing to share with us maybe some of their plans for 2017-18. That would give us a heads up and maybe some insight as to maybe some things we need to prepare for if they do have some positive plans that we might be involved in.
And I also know that a couple of these companies have expressed the possibility of training, and what we can bring to Princeton as far as training in industry, manufacturing, training. So.
And Ivan is pretty well connected to IVCC, so and I know that IVCC has tailored training programs for different industries in Pakistan. Maybe that's something that he would address as well for these companies.
So if there's not any other comments, do we have a consensus going forward?
I think it's a good idea.
Okay, good. All right, now we'll go to old business. Anybody have old business?
If I could, Mayor, I just want to say this morning I was out early, and at 5 o'clock this morning the guys were on the back of the garbage truck, and then they proceeded to work with recyclables. So I just want to compliment the street department, but especially the guys on the garbage truck. That's a thankless job at this kind of temperatures. I know we didn't cancel pickup, and I know we've done that in the past and it's miserable, but those guys were out there, and man, they're earning their pay the past couple of days, and so I appreciate what they're doing out there.
Thank you for that. You're right on that. Anything else? Anything else under old business? New business?
I do have one thing, Mayor, if I could. One of the thoughts I've had in the past, and I know that sometimes we wonder how we can implement this, but with the budget coming up for 2017, I've had this idea, and I ran this by Rachel, with the idea that we would take a Saturday morning and we would do a little round robin where we would leave from City Hall, invite the public to come along, but we would tour the main buildings that the city owns. We would go to the power plant for a half an hour, and the department head there would explain, what is going on in the power plant briefly as far as any large capital expenditures and concerns they might have. We could go to the street department, and the same thing. The street department head would give us a quick briefing, and we get a tour of the street department buildings as to what they see as large capital expenditures. And if it's a backhoe, for example, that's got 8,000 hours on it, we need to take a quick look at it and see what we're up against when we're looking at having to spend money for improvements on those things. And the electric distribution department and the water distribution are both there in the street department area. And then we could tour the police department, and then a quick tour through the new water plant, and then the wastewater plant. Just a basic run-through. We could be done by noon. Again, it's to have a department head give us a quick briefing there on site, and explain to us what capital expenditures are needed for the facilities. I'm talking basically the buildings themselves. I know we have a lot of deferred maintenance we haven't put back into our buildings. And I think it would be beneficial to have the entire council go as a whole. I know there's been other taxing bodies that have gone out and done these similar things. I know the Park District, they went out as a whole and visited sites. And I know taxing bodies like the drainage districts, they'll go out and they'll visit, well, drainage districts. So I think it could be done, and I think we could invite the public to go along, and then if we could do this in January or February, again, before the budget, we could certainly invite the others, 5 candidates for city council. We could invite them to go along as well and get them up to speed as to what's going on in the city. So I think it's a positive thing. We can start at 8 in the morning on a Saturday and get done by noon, keep it moving, and I just think it'd be beneficial for everybody to be on the ground, seeing what we've got for challenges in our departments as far as the maintenance of buildings and major pieces of equipment. So I'd like to present that as an idea.
Yeah, I agree. I think, we've talked about that in the past as well. I think it's a great idea. And to do it on a Saturday morning would be ideal. And I do agree that we could get it done in, January, first part of February, scheduled. Any other comment?
I know Ray and I have talked about this in the past as well, but I mean, part of what you want to see is the buildings that the city owns and what their condition is. And isn't that part of it? Just kind of, I mean, we all know that there are backhoes and there's equipment and there's things that need to run the city on a day-to-day basis. But the buildings that our employees are housed in, it sounds like, Ray, that you think need to be looked at and maybe considered as an investment to improve them.
I think it's a combination. I think there's deferred maintenance. It's nothing against the department head, but I think we've been squeezing these departments for dollars. I think there's deferred maintenance that we could be looking at as we hopefully work our way out of debt. There's going to be places where we need to put money back into our buildings and just general maintenance things. And I think that also the department head can also explain some of the challenges they might face and what they're looking at in the next 5 years for maybe some significant expenditures that they're looking at possibly bringing to the council. And being on the ground and being able to visually see these things, I think it just speaks volumes.
Setting priorities, basically, on what we want.
Thank you.
Any other new business?
I might just mention, since we forgot to put it in the packet, is this thing on here? Everybody hear me? City Hall will be closed at noon on Friday the 23rd in observance of Christmas Eve. And we will be closed for the whole day on the 26th in observance of Christmas. And by the same token, we'll be closing at noon on Friday, December 30th? 31st? 30th. And then close for the whole day on Monday the 2nd in observance of New Year's Day. Okay?
Thank you, Pete. Any public comment? Well, this is the last meeting of the year for 2016, and I think the year of 2016, we've had a very successful year indeed with what's going on in Princeton. And I'd just like to point out, our South Main Business District is really coming to life. I think we've got some buildings that are being worked on now that you're going to see new businesses open in a short period of time. When those businesses are open, I think we might have 3, possibly 4 empty buildings on South Main Street. And I don't know when the last time we could say we only had 3 or 4 empty buildings on South Main Street. It's just, it's all very positive. So I'm in 2017, I expect it to be better than 2016. So Merry Christmas to everyone, and here's to a great New Year. And if there's nothing more, I'll entertain it.
I move that we adjourn to the next regular meeting on Tuesday, January 3rd, 2017, at 7 p.m. here at City Hall.
Motion's been second. Call roll.
Commissioner Warren?
Aye.
Commissioner Mabry?
Aye.
Commissioner Fabia?
Aye.
Commissioner Newman?
Aye.
Mayor Querem?
Aye. This meeting is adjourned.